So let me go ahead and load this part in here where we can look at two-axis turning.
Okay.
So I pulled in this model in here, which is a typical part for turning. You have features that are inside, internal features, ID, OD, and also groove. So to go from mill to turn, you can click on Turning Browser on the top, or you can select Mill. It'll switch from Mill to Turning Browser.
Okay.
Now you define your coordinate system for the lathe. So your Z-axis, the axis about which the rotation, so that would be the center line of the part. And when you define it, you want to make sure that the X and the Y are set. So your X and the Z-axis is what really matters in turning the most. So you have your Z-axis and then the X-axis. It's just a two-axis. So the Y would be 0, or it's, we only do two-axis turn programming, so there's no Y-axis motion. Okay?
Yeah.
So you define the part, you define your tool change position, and you can specify these parameters for turning. And then you define your part in here. So in the definition, you select the part. So you can select all of the surfaces to define your part, or you can even select the sketch to define the part geometry for turning. So I can select solid surface geometries. I can do a select surface. Just do a Control-A. We'll select all of the surfaces. You accept the selections, and all of the surfaces are selected. Now that defines the part. So basically, it automatically creates a cross-section or a section view of the part as you see it. Okay? And then you define your stock. Here you can do a cylinder, part cylinder, stock by selection, revolve stock, define your stock for turning. Once you've done that, you align it, and then you set your work 0. The work 0 allows you to establish your X and Z origin. Typically, you would set it to the rightmost face of the part. And then you go through the process of defining your tool paths. You have your turn roughing, finishing, groove, roughing and finishing, follow curve, threading, and parting off. These are the different types of turning operations you could program. And we also have hole machining operations, drilling, tapping, bore, and reverse bore. So in this particular example, I have a turn roughing operation program using a diamond insert. I can specify the insert definition, insert orientation, the tool number, and also feet and speeds. So in turning, you can either work in inches per minute, or you can run in inches per revolution. So establish feet and speeds, establish the cutting parameters, and I would like to avoid this groove from being machined in the OD roughing. So I have a groove defined, line defined to basically not cut into the groove by just picking 2 points graphically, and then generate this tool path. And now we can run a verification. So there's the turn simulation. We can display the stock as a 3/4 view as opposed to a full view, so that way you can also look at the simulation of ID features you're turning. And there's the turning operation. So the workflow for programming turning is very similar to the milling module.
Yeah. It's nice.
We have posts for, a majority of the machine tools, and you have Haas. We have TL1, TL2, SL2.
TL2, our machine.
You can also customize these post processors in here where you can specify all the properties. And you can choose to output in radius or diameter mode, so you can choose diameter mode programming, and this would output in diameter. I can, regenerate the tool path as well. I can post, output it in diameter. So your X and Z axis. And there's your threading cycle G.
Setting up this location here, and that's why we spend most of our time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would there be any questions on the milling or the turning demo that we looked at today?
It's very nice. Also, during your presentation, I have raised my question, and is almost satisfied. Your explanations was very good. Thank you very much. It is nice features you have also. I would say it's very good for us.
Okay. That's good to hear. Now, would you like me to go ahead and take a look at the file that you wanted to store?
Yes, you can Take the file if you want your computer and open in your application to 2017.
I won't be at home.
Sure, I can open a 2013 file now. If you'd like me to, if you'd like to email us the part, I can take a look at it here. Or if you have the Visual Cam demo installed on your computer, we can take a look at it on your screen.
Yeah, we have plenty.
I think there is a problem during installation because this is 64 bits and the program is 32. I got some error message. I can see, but frequent I can get some error message. Maybe I can send by email very quickly. It's a demo. Medsoft is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, you can reply to my email,
Yeah.
demo@microsoft.com.
You know.
Yeah, sure.